grief in the courtroom.
This is the second worst day of my life.
As the widow of a taxi driver killed by a drunk is forced to relive a nightmare moments before the killer started living hers.
Step into the courtroom and witness a powerful moment as a judge delivers a life sentence. The once cocky and self-assured drunk drivers are now reduced to tears. We dive deep into their raw and unfiltered reactions as they come face to face with the consequences of their actions, causing immeasurable pain and suffering on the roads. Let's begin. Number 5. Tanner Dashner. Tanner Dashner's reckless decision to drink and drive in 2018 resulted in a devastating tragedy that claimed the lives of 5 people. The incident occurred on November 23, 2018, when Dashner, who was then 21 years old, was driving at an estimated speed of 97 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone on South 25th Street. He collided with the rear of a Dodge Dakota at Midway Road, causing it to burst into flames and resulting in the deaths of 5 people. According to reports, Dashner had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.274%, which is more than triple the legal limit of 0.08%. He was sentenced to more than 70 years in prison, with 14.5 years for each of the 5 offenses. The periods will be consecutive for a total of 72.5 years. Dashner apologized to the families of the 5 victims in court, expressing his deep remorse and regret for his actions. During the sentencing, the senior circuit judge explained that this was an extraordinary situation that involved the judgment of choices Dashner made that night and the repercussions of those decisions. The judge further added that one of the outcomes was a loss of 5 lives, and suddenly, one person's life was transformed forever. Dashner's remorse was palpable as he spoke to the families of the victims. He expressed how he never wanted to hurt anyone and how he regretted the poor decisions he made that led to the tragic incident. Dashner acknowledged that he caused emotional and bodily suffering to the families of the victims and expressed sadness that they would never be able to see or hug their loved ones again. He expressed hope that they could recover from the loss and move forward to have a happy and prosperous life. The families of the victims were in tears as Dashner expressed his apology, showing how deeply the tragedy had affected them. Dashner was left shocked by the sentence, but he knew that he had caused irreparable damage and was willing to accept the punishment. But trust me, it gets even crazier. Number 4. Jorge Solis. It is truly heartbreaking to hear about the lives that have been lost or forever changed due to drunk driving incidents. The case of Jorge Solis serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of driving while under the influence. Despite being on probation for a prior DUI conviction, Solis made the reckless decision to get behind the wheel while intoxicated, leading to the deaths of 2 children and their father, as well as the critical paralysis of another child. The details of the accident are chilling, with Solis driving his Ford F-350 in the wrong direction on the highway and colliding head-on with another vehicle. Witnesses reported smelling alcohol on Solis and saw him moving across the seat and exiting the passenger side door, trying to avoid responsibility for the accident. Solis pleaded guilty to multiple charges related to the incident, including driving under the influence, possession of alcohol by a minor, possession of an open container, and driving on the wrong side of the road. The judge sentenced him to 50 years in prison, part of a 75-year sentence, recognizing the pain he had caused to the victims' families and the need to hold him accountable for his actions. While Solis and his attorney tried to argue his innocence, it was clear that he was responsible for the tragic consequences of his actions. The family of the victims shared heartbreaking updates on social media, highlighting the long-lasting effects of the accident. Number 3. Javier Cortez. In March 2021, Javier Cortez, a 28-year-old Santa Maria man, pled guilty to a pair of counts related to a deadly crash that took place on March 16th in North Santa Maria, California. Cortez had left a house party earlier in the evening and was suspected of smashing his black Chrysler sedan into a white Jeep Cherokee carrying 4 passengers. The collision took the lives of 2 young women, Madison Coleman, who was 17, and Monica Gonzalez, who was 20. Cortez was then charged when he was found to have a blood alcohol concentration of more than 0.8%. The charges against Cortez included 3 enhancements: serious bodily harm, excessive speeding on a motorway, and having a blood alcohol percentage of more than 0.15%. Several local police officers testified about the incident at a preliminary hearing before the judge. According to Sophia Marquis, a traffic control officer with the SMPD, Cortez was at a house party in the 2300 block of Juliston Drive before the incident, where he was reportedly ingesting 3 to 4 bottles of beer and tequila jello shots before departing at 2 a.m. David Brewer, a police officer, testified that the force of the hit caused a short flash of light and ejected Gonzalez, who was wearing a seatbelt but did not survive the ordeal. Another passenger in the Jeep sustained pelvic damage, a fractured arm, and other injuries, and was airlifted to Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital for surgery. According to California Highway Patrol officers, information collected from the Chrysler's event data recorder revealed that Cortez was driving at 104 miles per hour westbound on Donovan Road 5 seconds before the crash. Cortez's speed was registered at 93 miles per hour by the data recorder in the split seconds before the collision, he added. During the hearing, Cortez continued to claim it was an accident, but for the victims' families, the accident took everything and left them with a lifelong of grief. As Cortez was on the stand, an emotional Julia Coleman addressed the court, claiming her daughter was a decent kid, had a good job, a boyfriend, and a 14-year-old sibling, and was about to start college. "We will never see our child again," she murmured, staring at Cortez, who didn't seem to mind. Cortez pled guilty to homicide and drunk driving and now faces a sentence of 21 years to life in jail. Number 2. Ashley Freeman. Ashley Freeman was driving while intoxicated and on the wrong side of the road, which led to a collision with another vehicle on February 26, 2018. The accident took place near the interchange of Interstate 8 and Interstate 5 in San Diego County. The California Highway Patrol reported that Freeman's blood alcohol content was 0.28, more than 3 times the legal limit at the time of the accident. Justin Callahan, a 35-year-old resident of San Diego, was driving the other vehicle, a Volkswagen Jetta, at the time of the crash. Callahan was critically injured and later died from his injuries. Freeman was 22 years old and driving a blue Toyota Camry at the time of the accident. She was traveling with another passenger who also suffered severe injuries. Freeman initially denied responsibility for the crash, but months later, she confessed to causing the accident, saying, "My lapse of judgment has taken Justin, the guy you all adore, and I will never be able to apologize for my actions that night." At the time of her sentencing, the victim's family was present in the courtroom. American Callahan, Justin Callahan's mother, addressed the court and said, "I don't have much serenity, pleasure, or laughing, and when I do laugh, I feel bad because I shouldn't. He's not here." She expressed her forgiveness towards Freeman, but stated that the final judge is God. Hearing this, Freeman broke down in tears and said, "I hope you will forgive me one day and know how truly and deeply sorry I am." Freeman was initially charged with murder, but that charge was dismissed as part of a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated and DUI causing injury. Freeman was sentenced to 11 years and 8 months in prison, with credit for time served. She had already served 379 days of her sentence before her sentencing. The victim's family expressed their dissatisfaction with the plea deal, stating that they believed Freeman should have received a longer sentence. On the other hand, Freeman's father said, "Ashley is a good person who made a bad mistake. Regardless of anyone's opinions, the accident took the life of a young man, causing immense grief and loss to his loved ones, which can never be undone." Number 1. Eileen Alderette. Eileen Alderette, a Las Vegas woman, was sentenced to 26 years in jail for a high-speed DUI collision that took the life of an 8-year-old boy and critically wounded his parents. The tragic incident happened on November 30, 2019, in Las Vegas. Alderette was intoxicated, and her car was traveling at 103 kilometers per hour when she collided with the family's vehicle, according to officials. Toxicology testing revealed that Alderette was under the influence of narcotics at the time of the accident. According to the police report, Alderette showed slow reactions by only slowing down to 81 miles per hour for a red light that had been red for roughly 3 seconds. The family's car, which was stopped at the red light, was hit from behind, causing significant damage. The 8-year-old boy, identified as Levi Echenique, was in the back seat of the car and was critically injured. He was taken to a nearby hospital but succumbed to his injuries soon after. His parents, who were in the front of the car, were also seriously injured and were taken to the hospital. Throughout the hearing, Alderette cried loudly at times, shouting over the boy's relatives to say, "I'm very sorry." She apologized to the boy's family. "I'll always wish my life had been taken out on that fateful day," she said. Levi's family sobbed and supported each other throughout the hour-long sentencing session, wearing T-shirts that said, "For the love of Levi." At the same time, Alderette also started to cry. It seemed as if she was thinking about her life, which would be destroyed by the judge's sentence. The family urged the judge to make an example of the community in order to save other people's lives. They said, "You should forgive and forget. We made the decision not to forgive her. We choose to forget about her." At her 90-minute sentence hearing, Alderette wept the entire time. "I'm really sorry for hurting the family," Alderette said. Apologies, according to prosecutors, were too late. "Now we're done trying to teach you the wrong of your ways, and now you're going to be punished," said Eric Bauman, Chief Deputy District Attorney for Clark County. Joey, the victim's 12-year-old brother, told the district judge, "The nicest birthday gift my brother could get is this maximum punishment for Alderette." Alderette was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison, without the possibility of release for second degree, and 2 charges of DUI causing serious bodily damage. Levi's mother stated that after the hearing, she was relieved that the judicial procedure was over. "We can put this aspect of it behind us and work on emotional healing as a family, knowing we received justice for Levi," she added. "We have it." Do you believe that life sentences for drunk driving accidents will help deter people from driving under the influence? As always, make sure to subscribe to our channel and watch this next.